Mythic. Mythic. Epic. Epic. Rare. Rare.
At Merrick, food is our love language because food is your love language too.
Drop, and I've broken it all down for you, including some hidden things that they didn't tell us. So let's start off with the 2 new brawlers. The first new brawler that will be coming when the update drops is Finks. Finks is the owner of the Star Park escape room, so that will be the start of a new trio in the game. Finks has 7,200 hit points, so the same as Bo, and for a controller, that's pretty darn good. Now for his main attack, he shoots out 3 projectiles in a straight line. The main middle projectile deals 1,800 damage, while the outer 2 smaller ones deal 900 each, which means that if you hit all 3 of those projectiles, you'll deal a whopping 3,600 damage with 1 ammo. Now the shot is pretty wide, so it may not be common to hit all 3 of them, especially at range, but the potential for huge burst damage is absolutely there. However, to balance out that massive damage, if we take a look at his ammo bar, it seems that his reload speed is pretty darn slow, but that makes sense considering how much damage that he can do. However, where things get really spicy for Finks is that for his super, he bends space and time. When you use his super, it'll place an area on the map that if an enemy shoots through this area, their projectiles will slow down greatly. This is going to make it very easy to dodge enemy shots. But on top of that, if you or your teammates shoot through the same area of effect, your shots will speed up greatly, which of course will make them even harder to dodge for the enemies. This super looks really wild and fun, and it's going to be great for both offense and defense. Now this time Brawl Stars actually gave us info on Finks' gadgets and star powers as well, and they are honestly equally as cool. With one of his gadgets, when pressed, you will rewind time, teleporting you back to the place you were 3 seconds prior. Now if you look, you can see a little blue icon following your movement, so you'll know exactly where you're going to go back to. Now on top of that, using this gadget will give you all of the ammo that you had at the point that you warped back to. So if you had 3 ammo, used all your shots, gadgeted, you'd have 3 ammo again. But I guess it could work against you as well. Now they didn't say if his health would go back to the previous amount you had 3 seconds before, but it would make sense if it did, but they just didn't say. Now they also showed his star powers. For the first one, hitting an enemy with Finks' main attack will lower their reload speed for a few seconds. They didn't specify how much the reduction was, but this could be a very powerful star power. Now for his second one, if an enemy is hit with a shot that is sped up by his super, it will extend the duration of the super on the ground. Again, they didn't mention how long it gets extended each time you hit one of these shots, but nevertheless, very cool. Now my gut reaction to Finks is that yeah, he looks broken, but I'll show you everything about him as well as our next brawler in a 1v1 video versus every other brawler in the game very soon, so subscribe if you want to see all of the update sneak peeks the second that I can show you them. Now the second brawler coming in early April will be Lumi. Lumi is part of Draco's trio and is the drummer in the band, and apparently Draco has the hots for Lumi. So there's that. Now at max level, Lumi has 6,000 hit points, which is actually rather low for a damage dealer, but what she lacks for in hit points, she absolutely makes up for in damage potential. For her main shot, she throws her Morning Stars at a fairly long range. Now she has 2 ammo bars, one for each projectile. After she has used these 2, the bar changes into a single one, and when you fire again, it will recall both projectiles, dealing damage on the way back if they hit anybody. Now the initial Morning Star shots themselves only deal 1,000 damage each, but if they hit somebody on the return trip, they deal 1,800 damage each, which means that if you get hit both on the way out and the way back, you're taking 5,600 damage. Yikes. Now, one of her star powers will also slow enemies who are hit by the weapons while they're being recalled. I'm also going to assume that the shots will stop when they hit a wall, meaning that if you're close to a wall, you can just spam out the shots very fast like Carl, or actually even faster. Now, on top of all of that, it looks like the reload speed is only dependent on the shots traveling to max distance, again, like Carl, so you will be able to spam those shots constantly. However, she has a very big control aspect to her game as well, as both of her gadgets can be triggered when the Morning Stars have been shot but not yet recalled. One of the gadgets leaves a burning patch on the ground around the Morning Stars, dealing 300 burn damage per tick to enemies, while her ice gadget will make a cold area, sort of like a mini Lu super, and deal 100 damage per second. And if you thought that was good, wait, there's more, because for Lumi's super, she pounds the ground in front of her with her weapons, aka her drumsticks, which, by the way, how did the drums even survive getting hit by those? Deep thoughts. When she does this, it sends out shockwaves in 3 circles. The bigger the circle, the more damage it deals. And if the last large circle hits you, it will deal 2,800 damage as well as rooting you in place. And if you use her second star power, these circles will also catch on fire, dealing damage to anyone caught in them. So yeah, 2 brawlers that look absolutely overpowered. This is going to be fun. Another thing that's overpowered, the 12 hypercharges we're getting. And as I suspected, we are getting more than the normal 6. Now, they're going to break them up into 2 batches of 6, one for each month. Hank is getting a crazy one that with his hypercharged super, the missiles will now home in on enemies. And not just like a little homing effect like Meeple or Piper, but a full-on guided missile blow you up effect. It's kind of wild. Now for Mandy, they took her mutation from the Godzilla event and just like Carbon copied it over to her hypercharge. She's going to fire off 3 supers instead of 1, although the 2 on the outside might only hit if you're lucky, but up close, ouch. Carl's is a little bit more basic. He just leaves a fire patch while in his super, dealing damage to anybody that is stepped on and burned by it. Now, Bo's is a crazy one because not only will he throw down 5 mines for his hypercharged super, but that super will not override other mines that you have already placed. So you could have 8 active mines on the field at the same time. I will absolutely die to these. 100% guaranteed. For Chester's hypercharge, it will combine 3 of his supers into 1. With this hypercharged super, it will explode upon hit, dealing damage, spreading a poison cloud, and then leaving a slowing area behind. Yeah, good luck living through that. However, Mr. P just might have the most annoying one because his hypercharge will put down a super porter station where it spawns super porters that are faster and deadlier, and if not destroyed, can spawn again, having 2 porters on the map at one time. Those little things look deadly and super annoying. They are fast, and this is going to be very annoying to play against. Now, during Sam's hypercharge, if you throw your Knuckle Busters and hit a target, it will immediately charge your super again, so you can recall those Knuckle Busters and then throw them again. If you keep hitting people, it's just going to be Knuckle Buster City spam, because that's a thing that I just made up. For Grom, his hypercharge gives him a second explosion to his super. The first one is normal, but of course a little bit more deadly because of the hypercharge damage, but then a second bomb drop splits in an X pattern, so if you hit this bomb on someone, there will be nothing left of them. It's like upwards of 8,000 damage, which is ridiculous. Buster's shield gets the full 360 treatment, as with his hypercharged super, he will deflect ammo from every angle, as well as the reflect damage will be increased. Loveless, however, is a bit more basic, as her ego just gets more health and damage, but it's still going to be deadly, but it's kind of boring. For Meg, she will get a massively increased swipe range in her mech form, as well as if you activate that hypercharged super out of mech form and go into it, you're going to get a shield. Now again, this seems a bit basic, but the size of that swipe is absolutely massive. You know what else is massive? But which one's going to be the best? Which one's going to be the most deadly? I'm going to test that out for you very soon. For B's slowing super, when it hits an enemy or reaches max range, it will split, even traveling further, which will give her a bigger area of effect and make it to where you can get slowed much easier. And you all know what happens when you get slowed by a B super. However, there is a secret hypercharge that they didn't mention but was in Brawl Talk. Now, Pam has a hypercharge icon when they were showing Fink's gameplay. However, she wasn't mentioned, so either we are going to be getting more than 12 in this update, or they just leaked it. Don't know which one. Speaking of things that they didn't mention that I found, it looks like Ollie is getting a slight change or balance. When it showed his skin, I noticed something a little bit different here. Normally, when he uses his super, he will silence himself until the music goes off, but that wasn't happening in this clip. However, he did lose half of his ammo, and I didn't see him shoot, so it looks like they removed the silence, which means that he could possibly shoot during that time, but in return has half the ammo. It's hard to say for sure, but they've changed something with Ollie there. Also, did you notice Colt's new profile picture? It's like he got time warped himself and now he's 6 years old. It's kind of weird. What's next, 80-year-old Jesse? Speaking of what's next, how about another collab? Wait. Before you click off with all that Buzz Lightyear PTSD, this is just a small one with the card game Uno, and it looks really cool. There's going to be a new limited time game mode called, it's called Uno. The game mode has some similarities to Present Plunder with some big changes as well. Each team is going to have a deck of cards in their base, and the goal is to get rid of all your cards by delivering them to the enemy side and protecting your side from the opponent's cards. Now, you can throw these cards at range to land them in the pile, but they can also be blocked. Also, certain cards will have special effects, like there's one called Draw 2, where everyone on your team gets 2 power cubes when you discard it. One is called Skip, which silences the enemy for a brief time, and then even the Uno Reverse that moves all the cards back to the enemy spawn. Honestly, I'm glad it's not like a huge collab, but just as fun game mode, it looks pretty cool and I'll be interested to try it out. But a game mode we did have before is becoming permanent. Trio Showdown will become a permanent game mode, so if you choose to play Showdown, you'll be able to select Solo, Duo, or Trio Showdown when you go to play. And speaking of playing, if you log in every day, you're going to be getting extra rewards to collect. If you keep logging in, you're going to start getting a daily login streak. Now, while the streak doesn't affect your rewards, if you want a really big streak, you've got to log in and collect your free stuff, or pay gems to keep it going if you miss out on it. Which I don't know why you would do that, but I mean, if you just like wasting your gems, that's one way to do it.
Don't break.
The spending gems, not my favorite part. But speaking of favorites, you can now sort your brawlers by your favorites. You'll be able to choose a little heart icon, which will mean that that is one of your favorite brawlers, and when you sort them, well, that's where they'll be. Very cool quality of life feature. But what's an update without some skins, though? And of course, we've got a bunch of really cool ones. Starting in this first season, we'll be getting the Dark Sands skins. Now, the Brawl Pass skin will be Mummified Frank, and of course, it will come with 2 color variations if you pick up the Brawl Pass Plus. And if you want an even bigger bonus for buying the Brawl Pass, all you need to do is use code LEX, and in return, you get my undying gratitude. And can you really put a price on that? I mean, you can. It's $10. But still. Now, both new brawlers Juju and Meeple will be getting skins with Queen Juju, which looks to be like a 79 gem skin, and then Mystic Meeple, which seems a bit more fancier, so maybe that one's like an epic skin, 149 gems. The 2 other ones that also look like epic skins will be for Ollie with Pharaoh Ollie and Scarab Squeak, which is like the Guard Rico skin that I really don't like. They kind of look creepy. I mean, I'm going to buy it anyway, but yeah. And then there's Ruffacies the Second, which I do think actually looks really cool with those shot animations. And I'm guessing that's going to be a 79 gem skin, and if so, that'll be a good value. And Brawl Stars also snuck in at the very last second and showed us that Egg Pam and Egg Rico are coming. However, for the April season, it'll feature a bunch of new Supercell make skins that look crazy good. Now, all of the Supercell make skins, I'm going to guess, are probably going to be 149 gems like they are normally, but they do look really good. Now, there's going to be 4 heroes and 3 villains. For the Brawl Pass that season, we have Crime Buster BB, and while I normally don't like playing BB much, this skin makes me kind of want to because it is really cool. Plus, she has traded in her bat for a pipe wrench, so she can beat brawlers and do some plumbing, just in case you need it. Spectacular Sam is the second hero whose model looks really great, and his super actually kind of reminds me of Angel Jean's head. Jean's not a bot. You can't just beat him up and take it, Sam. It's kind of weird, but it's a cool skin. Janet's new skin by Warp Wave looks really awesome. I love the colors on the wings, especially when she goes into flight, and the bombs she's dropping have a cool fire, like almost like a Lambent Mortis kind of fire. Very neat. Equilibrium Buster by Vinui plays into the time bending theme with his super animation, and now that I look at it, it looks like he's firing off shots that look like Angel Jean's heads too. Seriously, what have they done with Jean? Somebody needs to go check in on him. The first of the villains that need to be stopped is Insector Carl by Arthomax. He rides a big blue bug, and he slashes with his scythe. Protector Carl by JY Jackie has a really awesome looking model and cool shots to match. And then finally, we have Electroid Chuck by Getty Core. It kind of looks like Sparky from Clash Royale, but on tracks. I mean, at least you can appreciate the model when you're losing to Chuck and Heist. There's that. Then there are some skins that are not part of a season theme, but are still coming. We have Carnival Mandy, and I'm sure there's like more info on this, but I don't speak Portuguese, so let's just appreciate Danny's dancing. Ash is getting a Clash-themed skin with Peck Ash that is going to be a Supercell store exclusive. I don't know if you can use your ID points to buy it like the, King Frank skins, or if you'll just be able to buy it for money. I'm not really sure, but it'll be exclusively in the Supercell store. And then there are a handful of 29 gem skins, and while these skins don't have any custom animations or shot effects, they do look pretty cool. So if you're low on gems, but you still want that drip, then these are for you. Drip, right? That's what the kids say, right? Drip. Now, of course, we can't talk about skins without mentioning the brand new upgradable Pro tier skin with Astral Cult. Now, I made an entire video on the new Pro Pass and all of the new ranked details, so if you want all of that, be sure to go watch that video or just read the very long document in-game. However, this is the first real glimpse that we've gotten of that skin, so I wanted to show it off. At its base level, you unlock it and it looks like this, but as you upgrade it, you can unlock all kinds of cool stuff to make that skin even better. At upgrade level 3, you'll get cool looking new shot animations. On the 4th upgrade, the model changes the way it looks and it makes it look more mecha. The 6th upgrade, you get takedown effects. 7th upgrade, you'll get an animated brawler card. On the 8th upgrade, you get spawn and respawn effects. The 9th upgrade, you'll get the skin hypercharged form, and then in the last 2 upgrades, you'll unlock color variations. Again, you can see all the details about the Pro Pass and the new rank system in a video that I put out about a week ago. And in that video, I did mention that the gadgets were going to be changing, where they will no longer be numbered, but instead unlimited. So you'll be able to use your gadget as many times as you can during the game. It's not going to be a number, but rather a cooldown base. And just because a ton of you asked in the comments, the +1 gear for your gadget is going to change into a cooldown reduction gear. So it's not going to give you an extra use, but it will let you use it more often. So in the end, it's about the same. You bought a gear to let you use your gadget more often, and that's exactly what it does. Again, if you want more info on the Pro Pass and what you get, how